What's up, guys? Talking about a very important concept today. Working with Palmer. Just like every dog, every session we have, we're looking to expose insecurities, weaknesses, things that they struggle with so that we can then tackle them and strengthen them. Unlike the common belief that you should keep everything easy for the dog, right? We go after what the dog struggles with, and then we teach them what we need them to be like in this scenario, and then we repeat that scenario until they build confidence behaving how we would prefer them to behave. Let's take an insecurity that I do believe Palmer has. I'm gonna put her on the placebed in the living room. I'm gonna turn the vacuum cleaner on. I'm pretty sure she has some type of trigger to the vacuum. I'm not sure if it's fear, I'm not sure if it's anxiety. I don't know what it is. But what I know is that she struggles with it. No, she also struggles with that, which is whining. So if I hear a whine, I say no, and I correct on the e-collar. So putting her in situations that I think is going to get her to whine is what I would do, right? So you get the picture here. So what we're doing is we're constantly finding a dog's weakness, exposing it, teaching them new behaviors, new coping skills, and then holding them accountable to perform these new skills so that they can become confident in the situations and perform the way that we desire them to, okay? No more avoiding. We don't avoid around here. We tackle problems head on. So, come. Couple taps on the e-collar there at a level 8 for trying to get ahead of me. Place. Good. Actually, I'm at a level 9. It's working nice. It's effective. She definitely respects it, but it's not too much to overwhelm her. So I'm on this 9 here. I enjoy that what it's giving me. So with the e-collar work, you always got to watch with the dog and see how they feel about the number, right? So any lower, I'd probably get her blowing me off and not taking me seriously. Any higher, she probably would get a little bit, spazzed out considering she's still new to this stuff. So a 9 seems to be working right now. Okay, so let's get to it. Let's get the vacuum out and see what happened. Now, okay, so we already seen a reaction, right? I just brought the vacuum out, she stood up. First thing I did is I taught her what I need her to be doing, which is staying on the bed. I said no, and I corrected on that 9 on the e-collar, and she went back into her downstay, okay? Now that I realize that she's gonna be a little flighty, I'm gonna get a back tie. I'm gonna go get a slip lead, put it on her, and then that way if she gets off, she's not going too far and we don't have a mess on our hands. But what I need to teach her is, even though you're concerned with the vacuum, you need to stay on the bed, okay? This will actually help her get exposed to the vacuum in a way that she realizes it's not gonna do any harm to her. If we let her continue to flee the scene, she'll always be insecure about the vacuum. So we're gonna be correcting position on the bed, she can't be getting off. We're also gonna be correcting any whining, because one of Palmer's big issues is whining. She's very vocal and she's very squeaky, which is pretty common in shepherds as it is, but we disagree with that stuff here, and it always goes away. First thing I'm gonna do, because I've already got a trigger, I don't even have to turn this on. At this point, I can just do this and work her through it here. And once this becomes easy, then I will turn the vacuum on. Alright? Notice her head's down. We want her head down. We want her to be in a double down. We want her to relax. I might give her, if she continues to do well, I'll give her some reassurance. Good girl. And what that does is, if used properly, you can just let her know everything's fine, there's nothing to be concerned about. Where people go wrong is all they want to do is reassure, and they do it for the entire, they just keep reassuring constantly. I do it for about a second, and then the rest, I'm holding her accountable. I'm gonna correct her if she gets up. That's how I can stay balanced and have a true impact on her. Okay, it's time to turn it on. Time to turn it on. No. So right there, we found another trigger. Just this sound. Any sound coming from the vacuum, really. All right, you see I did it a second time, she didn't freak out because I corrected her. That's why we use corrections. All right, so any trigger we find, this is what we're doing. We're doing this day in and day out, especially with dogs who are a little nervy, which she is, right? If I find a sound or a situation that makes her nervous, we put her, no, absolutely no whining, ever. That's kind of a rule around here. We actually have a sign that says no, warning, no, this is a no whining zone. No. Another correction there for sniffing the ground and stuff, she needs to just relax. This isn't time to explore and to take in the surroundings. This is time to relax and work, okay? And her job is to stay there and ignore everything. So what I was saying is any trigger we find that triggers a dog to behave in a way that we don't desire, we will continue to produce that trigger and teach them how we would prefer them to behave. And the way we do that is we correct every wrong choice, and then all that's left is the choice we like. So I'm gonna correct her for sniffing, whining, trying to get up, trying to stand up, trying to get off the bed, all this stuff. And all that she's not gonna be corrected for is laying there, being quiet and compliant. And that's how we get it, because that's the only behavior that's not corrected. So we put that on repeat consistently, and we get the behavior that we want. And we do this for every command, and we do this for all sorts of situations. Out on the walk, out to the store. This is what's expected to you, and anything but this behavior will be corrected. And that is how we do it. So you're gonna watch this whole thing. You're gonna watch her struggle with the vacuum cleaner, and then you're gonna see me work her through it, and then she'll be fine. And this is just what we do every day. Okay? I know she's going to trigger as soon as I turn on the vacuum, so I'm just gonna turn it on and then turn it off. All right? Correcting any behavior that is not her laying down and being calm and compliant to the command. Oops. Down. So I want her to know not to worry about it. Good. All right. So you guys know, I turned my e-collar to a level 6 because it's working. Right? It's really low, but it's working. So that's where I'm hanging out right now. So if she does squeak, it's not from discomfort on the e-collar. It's from frustration that I'm holding her accountable and that she can't get off the bed and run away like she normally does. So shepherds and huskies and depending on the personality of the dog or the breed, they're vocal about their opinions. So you hear that. And a lot of people think that that's pain, but it's not. It's just frustration and protest. When I go higher in the numbers, for her like a 30 plus, then there will be a yelp that is actually discomfort. But down at these lower numbers, that's not what's going on. So, I hope you're noticing what I'm noticing here, which is as soon as she got up, I corrected her. What am I at? The 6? I said no. I corrected her. She went back into a down, right? And she got up because it got a little close to her. I did that 3 times. I also said good whenever she didn't pick her head up. What happened on the last rep, which is why we're doing this, is I'm teaching her how to behave when she's triggered by this. She thinks about getting up and she puts herself into a double down without me having to do anything. And I said good, and I marked it. So I'm teaching a dog what behaviors I want them to do in any given situation. So I said, hey, when you hear this vacuum, I know your first instinct is to get up and run. What I need you to do instead is to actually commit into a double down and lay down. And now she just gave it to me without me having to tell her what to do, right? So we're patterning and conditioning the response that we want by disagreeing with all the other responses that are undesirable and agreeing with the one that we want, which for now, it's on the place bed, double down, relaxed. Anything else, I correct. This, I praise.